He looked straight into the camera and said it. I'm back as Superman. It was October 2022, and Henry Cavill had just made a surprise cameo in Black Adam. Fans went wild. After years of silence from Warner Bros. And endless online speculation, it finally felt real. Superman was back, and not just in a blink-and-you'll-miss-it scene. Cavill posted a video on Instagram confirming what millions of DC fans had been waiting to hear. The character means so much to me. Thank you for your patience. It will be rewarded. But behind the scenes, the deal wasn't even finalized. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Cavill didn't have a signed contract, just a handshake and a verbal promise from the old Warner Bros. Execs. No script, no dates, no guarantees. Still, fans didn't know that. As far as the internet was concerned, Superman had officially returned. And just like that, the buzz was back. For a brief moment, it felt like the DC universe was finally finding its footing. But that moment didn't last long, because what happened next would blindside everyone, including Cavill himself. Just weeks after Cavill's big return, the entire DC universe flipped upside down. In a move that stunned both fans and insiders, Warner Bros. Named Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn and Aquaman producer Peter Safran as the new co-heads of DC Studios. Their mission? Reboot everything. Clean slate. Unified storytelling across film, TV, animation, even video games. And that meant hard choices. Projects that were once in full swing? Gone. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman 3? Canceled. And yes, the Superman movie Cavill was supposedly returning for? Quietly scrapped before it even began. Gunn warned fans early on this would be a transitional period. He even posted, "We know we're not going to make every single person happy, but everything we do is for the story and the characters we've loved our entire lives." It sounded like a bold new vision. But what did that mean for Henry Cavill? We were about to find out. On December 14th, 2022, Cavill dropped another Instagram bombshell. "I just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran," he wrote. "It's sad news. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman." Fans were stunned. Just 8 weeks after confirming his comeback, Cavill was out, again. And this time, it wasn't his decision. He explained that his October announcement had come before Gunn and Safran were hired. The studio told him to tell the world he was back, only to walk it all back once the new leadership stepped in. This news isn't the easiest, Cavill admitted, but that's life. Still, he handled it with grace. No bitterness, no drama, just respect. My turn to wear the cape has passed, but what Superman stands for never will. And just like that, the man who had worn the suit for nearly a decade was gone. But here's where things get really interesting. Almost immediately, fans were furious. Social media exploded with criticism. "They fired Cavill! This is a betrayal! Bring him back!" But James Gunn stepped in to set the record straight. "We didn't fire Henry," he said. "Henry was never cast." Wait, what? According to Gunn, Cavill was never officially attached to any new Superman project under their regime. That earlier announcement? That was the old Warner Brothers management trying to please fans, not part of Gunn and Safran's plan. "For this story, it isn't Henry," Gunn explained. "I like Henry. I think he's a great guy. I think he's been messed around by a lot of people, including the former regime at this company. So, no, Cavill wasn't fired. He was just caught in the crossfire of a reboot." But DC wasn't done yet, and a new Superman was already on the way. In 2023, the Pearl in Hollywood actor was officially announced as the next Clark Kent. He's 10 years younger than Cavill, and his casting made one thing clear. This new Superman wouldn't be a continuation, it would be a full reset. James Gunn's film, Superman, will hit theaters in July 2025. It's not an origin story, but it will focus on a younger version of the hero, someone just starting to balance his Kryptonian roots with his life on Earth. "He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way," said Safran. "He is kindness in a world that thinks kindness is old-fashioned. And that's the Superman they're betting everything on." Despite the chaos and confusion, Cavill never lashed out. He didn't rant, he didn't point fingers. Instead, he posted one of the classiest exit messages in Hollywood history. "The changing of the guard happens," he wrote. "I respect that. James and Peter have a new universe to build. I wish them all the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. And that wasn't all. In a later post, Gunn confirmed they had a productive meeting with Cavill and even talked about working together in the future. "We're big fans," Gunn wrote, "and we discussed a number of exciting possibilities." So while the cape may be in the closet, it might not be there forever. Even with all the explanations, a lot of fans weren't buying it. They saw Cavill as a casualty, someone who was promised the world and then quietly pushed aside. The man was Superman for an entire generation, and many felt he deserved a better send-off. Some blamed the old Warner Brothers execs. Others turned their frustration on Gunn and Safran. But no matter where the blame landed, the disappointment was real. Still, not all hope is lost. Cavill's popularity hasn't faded. He's already moving on to other big franchises, with talks of Warhammer 40K, spy thrillers, and even more fantasy roles. He may not be Superman anymore, but his career is far from over. Henry Cavill's departure wasn't just the end of an era. It was a sign of something bigger. DC Studios wasn't just recasting a role. They were rebooting everything. And in doing so, they left behind one of their most iconic stars. But Cavill didn't go down bitter or broken. He went out with dignity, respect, and hope. Hope that one day their paths might cross again. Because while David Corenswet is the Superman of the future, Henry Cavill will always be the Superman of a generation. And that legacy? It can't be replaced. If you made it thus far, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next one.